Can you guys hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me now. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you can hear me. Please know what's going on with this. I'm guessing I'm still on mute. Must be still on. Am I still on mute, guys? Oh, you can hear me. Big up, yes, big up everyone. Listen, man. Listen, honestly, what a night for us Arsenal fans. A humongous night. Like I was just saying, but you guys couldn't hear me. It feels like today that was a game. You know, like they call relegation when the two relegation teams play each other, the 6 pointer. Today felt like we got 5 points. It felt like we got 5 points today because Man City dropped two, we gained three. It's humongous, man. Let me honestly, while I was watching that game, guys, big up everyone in the chat, by the way. While I was watching that game, towards the end of the game, I know they call me positive Dan, but in my head, like, don't get me wrong, like defensively, we were looking solid. We are looking like the Arsenal that I know of these last few years when we can see out games. But I was just thinking at the end, City are probably going to get a late goal, and if we concede and they score. Oh my god, could you imagine it, guys? Could you imagine Man City would have scored in like the 93rd minute and then and then we conceded in the 93rd because they both had 7 minutes added on. It would have been a disaster. I'm not sure we would have been able to come back from that. The gut would have the what would it have been? It would have been trying to work it out now. Would have been 2 points, but they would have had a game in hand. It would have been fucked, man. But that's not what happened. We kept our nerve. We kept our nerve, and they did not. You know, Man City went ahead twice today against a team that are what 17th? Where are they? 17th, 16th in the table. So honestly, man, that was a huge night today for Arsenal Football Club, for all of us Arsenal fans, for Mikel Arteta, for all of the players. Huge night, man. Huge night. Big up every single one of you guys. This was just a spontaneous thing. Wasn't even going to do a live, but I thought, you know what, man? Let me do a live. I got a bit of free time. And so big up every single person in the chat. Humongous night, man. Let me go through some of you guys' comments. If you're new, bro, please do like and subscribe. Let's big up Tyro. Big up you lot for letting me know that I was on mute as well. 8 games, 7 clear. And you know what? I remember in 2022-23, 8 to go, 8 clear, but they had a game in hand, which they do have a game in hand this time, and we had to play them. Very similar scenario, guys. Only a point difference, but that time we had the youngest team in the league. Arteta was only in his fourth year of management, I think. This team, listen, the football that team played probably was better, but who cares? We're all about winning. This is a winning machine. And yeah, I just think this what Arteta has done, what he's done for this club. That's why I don't understand. I know, listen, we have our ups and downs as Arsenal fans, and we argue to the cows come home because we all want to win ultimately. But just what Arteta has set us up for. People call me deluded when I say we're going to win a quad. It's very much on, guys. The quad is very much on, and people can say, "Oh, you're getting carried away," but listen, I'm not getting carried away, man. I'm not getting carried away. I'm just saying what I see. We are favourites for every competition that we are in. So, there's every chance that we could go and win the quadruple. There's every chance we could win a double. You know, uh, it's looking really, really good. It's going to be a fantastic end to the season. Let's just get this layout. Let's just see what layouts we've got here. I know this. Just find a decent layout. No, that's not very good, is it? And um, where's the main one? Hold on, guys. Bear with me just a moment. I'll find this layout. Mhm. We'll just go with this one. But yeah, man, it's a big day. Big up Tyrell. Big up Sahal. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Um, let's go through some of your comments here. Right. First, AFC always look. AFC always look. It's an amazing day for Arsenal Football Club. We go 7 points clear with 8 games to go. Manchester City drop points, and he comes with the football is the football under Arteta is trash, man. Mate, honestly, no one cares, man. No one cares. We're all happy, man. We're 7 points clear. We've scored the most goals in the league. We've conceded the least. No one cares, man. Honestly, no one cares. We need Hugo on. Yeah, do you know what? I haven't didn't even get a chance to invite anyone. It's just a spontaneous one. I'm not even sure. Not sure how long I'll even stay on for. We'll see how many people we get in. 8 of you right now showing love. So thank you to all you guys showing love. Big up Gaza. Yeah, look, poor performance, but who cares? Do you know what? I have to disagree. I think poor going forward. I agree with that. But I thought Declan Rice was magnificent. I thought the defense was outstanding today. I thought Nkapie was was honestly that guy Nkapie is getting better and better and better. George Graham football was better than this. Listen, I wasn't alive, man, so I can't say whether it was or. But I don't really care. I don't think anyone does. We just want to go and win the Premier League, man. That's what we want to do. Big up, Roman Top Gooner. Big up to yourself, man. Big up to yourself each and every time. Big up everyone. Look, Luca Dons, look, and listen, you change your mind quite a lot, Luca. 1 minute we're winning it, then we're not. We drop whenever we drop points, you say we're not winning it. And listen, look, we're all allowed to change our opinions, but I think you changed them a bit too much. But listen, it's football, isn't it? I suppose that's what happens. Honestly, I do though. Not laughing. I'm not lying. My honest truth is, I think we win the league. Listen, that's listen. If we draw with Everton, though, you probably won't think that. Whereas I will. I still think we're winning. I think we're winning this Premier League. I've said it from the start that once we go top of the Premier League, which we did in like when was it? October, September. I said we will stay on top. We won't come off the top spot, and we haven't. We've been top all season, and we're going to stay top, guys. We're going to win this Premier League. Where are the haters? That's what I want to know because after we lost drop points to Wolves, our live had 90 people in it, the most we've ever had. And now I'm sitting here and there's only 7 people in the live. So listen, people told me about YouTube that when you're positive, you're not going to get as much traction, and they're probably right. Only one game as I worry. City, the rest are chilled. I think we win the league and the League Cup. That's it. Well, listen. We would all take that right now, wouldn't we? A double. We've been starved a Premier League for the first Premier League in 22 years, and our first League Cup since 1993 would be absolutely amazing, stupendous season. But listen, I think the Champions League is there for the taking, guys. I really do. I feel like the Champions League. I fear West Ham away game, West Ham away game. They'll be fighting for their lives. Yeah, they will be. But we've got quite. We go there and do the business, man. And we've got like we've got some score to settle with them, ain't we? Really? Because do you remember in 2022-23 when we drew? So we've got a score to settle with West Ham, man. I fancy our chances at West Ham, and don't forget, Man City have got to go there as well. Man City have to go there right after they play Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. They go to West Ham 3 days later. So yeah, man, I need to put a post out and let everyone know Dan, our team was young and City were way better. Now we are better and City. Well, yeah, 100%. That 100%, 100%. The quad, listen, the quad is very much on, man. We're favourites for every single trophy that we're in. So I don't know why people are even laughing because it's very much, it's easily possible. It really could happen. Listen, it probably won't. I'm not sitting there saying that we're definitely going to win it, but the quad is very much on, and you can't say it's not. You know, we are we're going to win the Premier League. We're in a final of a Carabao Cup. That's going to be a 50-50 game. Our route in the Champions League, you expect us to beat Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt or Sporting, semi-final, anything can happen, of course. But listen, you get through that semi-final, you're one game away. The FA Cup, you expect us to beat Mansfield. I know there's a lot of expects going on, but listen, it could happen, guys. It really could happen. AFC always though. I want to know why you would come in today and just talk about football being trash rather than being happy and excited that Arsenal have gone 7 points clear in the Premier League. I find that astonishing. I really do. I find it astonishing. And there you go. Look, big up Sahal, man. He agrees we're going to win the quadruple. They moaned when we lost nicely. Now they moan when we win dirty. It's crazy. It's really crazy stuff, isn't it? It is crazy. I remember Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher loving it when we lost to Brentford under Mikel Arteta. I think it was one of the first game of the season about 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, man. Easy route to Budapest. Yeah, and listen, I wouldn't necessarily call it easy like people are saying because, of course, you know, let's not forget Bodo Glimt have beaten Manchester City. They've knocked out Inter Milan, who are the best team in Italy at the moment. And Sporting Lisbon are the champions of Portugal, and Bayer Leverkusen have also beaten Manchester City. But look, you expect us to get through those teams, so it is most certainly the easier route. And look, we're going to have to probably eventually beat a Barcelona, but who knows? Newcastle, look at them today at home. You never know. You never know, man. We've got every game now as a cup final. This is what Arteta's brought to Arsenal, where every game is a cup final. And yeah, we should be in the quarterfinals after this weekend. We really should. Martinelli was awful. He wasn't great. I thought he gave a lot though. He definitely gave his all for sure and defended well. I would take a double Prem and Carabao if UCO and FA Cup comes for that. Why not? Exactly. Yeah, hit the likes, everyone, man. This is a just a random one, and yeah, look, listen. Like when we drew with Wolves, like I said, we went live then, and there was over 100 people in there, man. That's how it goes on YouTube, man. But listen, guys, it's really, really exciting times to be an Arsenal fan, and this is why I say Mikel Arteta has what he's done to this club. He's transformed this club. We were getting smoked. Anytime we come up against a big team, we were losing 6-0. Anytime we come up against a Liverpool, we were letting in 4 goals. I never forget Wenger in his 1000th game, losing 6-0. So, and what Arteta's come in and what he's done, and people say, oh, it's been 6 years, no trophy, rare, rare, rare. But in that 6 years, he's been building a team that can be capable to win the biggest trophies. It's not just trying to build a team that could go nick a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup or Europa League here and there, and we have our one day out in the sun. We're Arsenal. We want to win the Champions League. We've never won it. It's embarrassing. If Mikel Arteta does that for Arsenal, get the statue ready for him. The Premier League, we haven't won it for 22 years. Wenger last won it in 2004, and then he went how many years without a trophy? Listen, what Arteta has done, he's built this team, and you look around the age of the players. Look at the age of the players, guys. Like this team is going to go places, man. I'm telling you now, this team is staying there. They all want to stay. Big up Bukayo Saka today, scoring a crucial goal on his 300th appearance for Arsenal. What a moment that was for him. Got a bit lucky for sure. You need a bit of luck sometimes to win a Premier League title. Can you guys hear me? Let me know, please, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I might have to end the stream, man, if you guys can't hear me, because this is. I'm gonna have to get a new. Let's read this out. I rate Saka, man. Him and Havertz are pivotal to attack in those final 8 games, plus the cup final for sure. Guys, let me know if you can hear me, please. Can hear me perfect. SJ, big up SJ. SJ, what you saying, my bro? I'm gonna bang the link in there if you want to join me. Yeah, as it was a random one. Let me get that link in there. Yeah, do you know what? AFC always. Let me see if SJ is gonna join us. Let's send him the link in the chat. And anyone else who wants to jump on. I'd love AFC always to jump on. What you saying, AFC always? You think we're gonna win the league? What's he put here? Let's check. I'll put the link in, guys, if anyone wants to join us. What did AFC always? He was spouting some crap. But big up SJ says, not a pretty win, but 8 more of those, and no one will complain. That's for sure, 100%. And I think there's going to be, you look at some of the games, the home games, Fulham at home, Burnley at home. Hopefully, there's some big wins in there. I'd rather be on this side than the other side, 100%. We don't make the semi-final, the final, the Champions League. It's a failure. Let's be real. Well, it would be a failure, yes, in the Champions League term, 100%. If we didn't make the semi-final, for sure, you guaranteed expect us to make the semi. Now, I agree with you, but the season would not be a failure if we go and win the Premier League. All we need to do is win 6 out of 8 games and we win the league. Wow, that is crazy, isn't it? When you say it like that, Sahar, bro, you're getting me excited, man. Oh man, what a night! What a night! What a night, guys! What a night to be an Arsenal fan. Honestly, man. 300 appearances, 24 is mental. Yeah, you're right. Um, yeah, AFC always positive. Dan Stinker and hooked. Yeah, definitely. I seriously need. You know what I think it is, guys? I think it's my because the mic's good, man. The mic's expensive, so I'm praying that it's not the mic because the mic was expensive. But I think it's the USB that plugs into the mic. I don't know, maybe it's got a bit damaged or something because every now and then it just mutes me randomly out of nowhere. And it's just one of them things. You know, one of them. Does that ever happen to people where you're meant to do something, you just forget and you just put it off? It's like when you need a new charger for your phone or you need something new and you just, your new pair of trainers, when you need a new pair, you go and get it. But with these little things like that, you just don't do it. And it's such a quick thing. I've only got to go on Amazon or go down the shop and get a USB. Tomorrow, getting the USB. Get onto me, guys, if I don't do it on the next stream. Big up every single person in the house. Big up everyone who's liking the stream. And if you're watching it on a replay, big yourself up. Guys, what do we think? How many trophies are we going to win this season? I actually think we will win 3 now. I said 2 before. I think we're going to win the Champions League. I really do. I'm not sure about the FA Cup. We might have a wobble in that at some point. We may have to, if we've got an FA Cup game against, let's say, I don't know, for instance, Manchester City away in the FA Cup, and then we've got a Champions League game against Bodo Glimt away 3 days later. I think I know what game we're going to be prioritizing. So listen, I think we're going to win the Carabao Cup. I think we're going to win the Champions League, and I think we're going to win the Premier League. I really do. Let's get my main guy SJ in the building. Change this. There we go. Big up SJ. My guy. What are you saying, my bro? Big night today, bro. Big night.
Yeah, man. It was an ugly win. Ugly win. You know, like you said earlier, when it was 1-0 and City was 2-2, I thought,
Yeah.
what, we're gonna concede and they're gonna win. And yeah. Well, we got over the line. It wasn't our great performance, but like I said before, 8 more of those, and no one to complain. And yeah, we got a little buffer back to work with going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, Saka, he got a goal. I
Yeah.
think, Realist said before he started Noni, but
Yeah.
Saka, he come in and started, and he's
100%.
got us a winning goal. So you can't complain,
You know what's funny, right? Let me just answer this. Hugo is still about. He's still part of the channel, man. He's just been pretty busy with family life and that, man. But he'll be back soon, man. Big up, man. Thank you for asking as well. But yeah, you know what's funny is that in my last AFTV interview, I said, Bukayo Saka, we need you to do something. Can you bend one in against Brighton? And it's exactly what he's done, man. So big up Akayo, man. Maybe he was watching the interview and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for Dan and the boys." But yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy what someone just put in the chat. Win 6 out of 8 and you've won the Premier League.
Yeah.
Is that for sure though? Would that be for sure? Would that mean we'd win the Premier League?
If we lose City, that still
Not
one
if
point
we
behind.
look.
If we lose City and win the game in hand, it
Trying
could
to work
be.
it out. If we won, I'm saying let's say City won all of their games.
Yeah, they beat us, yeah, and yeah,
They still would. If yeah, but if we just lost to City and won the rest, I don't think. Yeah, so if we lost, basically, let's say they win their game in hand, right? So it's 4 points.
4 points, yeah,
So if we won all our games, but didn't won 6 out of 8, but didn't win the other two, then they could potentially take us over. Do you know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
still kind of need to win 7 out of 8 to be
yeah, yeah,
100% sure.
yeah.
But I get what they were saying in the chat. I get what they were saying, man. But I mean, where does this leave the title race now? Who we play Everton? Who do they play when we play Everton?
Um, West Ham, no,
It is West Ham. You're right. West Ham
yeah,
away after
West
they
Ham
play Real
away, yeah,
Madrid. After they play Real Madrid away. Obviously, we play
yeah,
Leverkusen away, but we've got a nice home game. And every time in the Champions League now, every time, even if we go through, it's a home game that we play after
yeah,
as well,
yeah,
which is that's fantastic for us to be in front of your home crowd. No more traveling back at home. I think yeah, the stars are aligning, man. I think we're going to win the Premier League. I've said it since before the season started, and I've said I think we'll stay top throughout the whole season. Listen, that's another banana skin for them. Going traveling to Real Madrid, you can guarantee Pep's going to put he's all into that game. And 3 days later to have to go to West Ham, who are fighting for their lives. They got a massive win today. Did they win today? They were winning anyway.
West Ham,
They won, right?
yeah, they beat Fulham 1-0.
That's what I
I can say,
mean.
yeah,
So that's
man, your belief has never wavered. You know what I mean? You've had to
no,
take on loads of
exactly.
negative people, but
Loads.
you've always stuck to your guns and said, we're gonna win the league. Even
That's
during the
it.
tough times in December when we lost to Villa,
Yeah, I was there.
what
I
was
was in
that
the
in
pub.
December? We lost to someone else or drew in December. We're for a tough patch in December.
Yeah,
But even the Wolves draw and the Brentford draw recently, you know what I mean? Those two tough games that we expected to win, or at least, get 4 points from, and we just gave away our big gap against Man City. But yeah, I think we are going to win the league too. I agree with you. And West Ham, I mean, City got West Ham next, and West Ham are on form. I mean, they beat Fulham tonight.
yeah.
I know they lost the other day, but yeah, I mean, they're trying to fight for their lives. Nottingham Forest in the same position, and they got a draw at the Etihad. But we still got to do our job, you know. If I'm being honest, I think tonight our attack wasn't great.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
every fan would say that. The ball just wasn't sticking up front with Jokeres. Havertz came on, looked sharp. You know, he looked good. Won his jewels aerially and on the floor. So it kind of gave us a bit of a foothold later in the game, you know, to get forward and up the pitch, even though Brighton were chasing the game and trying to win. I think the field tilt favoured us in later towards the game because Havertz's presence up front.
I
Um,
thought I thought Havertz coming on was a great sub. I thought Arteta
yeah,
got all of his subs right today. A
yeah,
lot of people moan about Norgard not getting enough minutes. He's brought Norgard on, with 15 minutes to go, which I think was the right thing to do. Subamendi was out at his feet. He covered so much ground. Lost the ball a few times today. I was a bit disappointed with him, to be fair, at times. But Gabriel, man, I
yeah.
mean, that was just a colossal performance. It was a captain's performance. It was a leader's performance. That is what you want when your back's up against the wall. You need to win. Away on a midweek game under the lights, away at Brighton. Gabriel, a warrior in every sense of the game. He was just from the first minute clearing it off the line. So I think there was one sliding challenge after that. That was brilliant.
Tom
Every
Matoma,
header
yeah,
he was winning,
yeah.
duels. I just thought Gabriel was absolutely fantastic. And I remember before he got injured, everyone said if we won the league, he's going to get player of the season. And then it obviously changed to Declan Rice. And now I think them two they're going to have a battle. And look, listen, Timber's a right back, so he probably won't be in with a shout. But them three have probably been our best players this season, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Declan Rice,
pre-game we
Timber, and
found that Sleep was
Gabriel.
not playing, so
Yeah,
naturally Gabriel had to step up and be the leader. He needed to be there, you know.
Yeah,
Mascara got an early booking, which probably affected his game.
yeah.
Um,
He wasn't at his best today, Mascara.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
That's why Gabriel had to be even better.
yeah, that's what it was. But like I said, Gabriel's a leader. He's like, funny enough, he's the oldest player back there. You know what I mean? We've got 24 Timber, 24 years old. Mascara was even younger than that. Hincapié is 24. So naturally, our oldest player back there is Gabriel outside right, obviously. But yeah, like you say, he was a colossus tonight. Early clearance off the line. I mean, David Raya, he's done it again. I don't know where the mistakes he's coming from.
Yeah,
We've got away with it. Like, had we gone 1-0 down, could have been a different game completely. But Timber, I think, Timber played well after he's been, I mean, he had a rough spell recently last month, but
yeah,
he's
for
kind of hit
sure.
back in the last couple of games. And yeah, Declan Rice, the second half, I think Declan Rice was sensational.
He was. He really was, man. He really, really was. He was. Yeah, he was phenomenal.
What were your thoughts on Zubimendi? I mean, the sub we've been asking for, Norgard, actually came on and saw
Yeah,
out the rest of the game.
yeah. I mean, he frustrated me at times today.
Mm.
There was a few times when he lost the ball where he could have
Yeah,
made a pass that he didn't. Even Jokeres, I mean, that pass, I thought it was a great pass, but he needed a little
mm.
bit more on it for
Yeah, yeah.
Saka to get onto. He lost the ball a couple of times. I think Kai Havertz was the right sub. I thought Kai Havertz done excellent. Not everyone will see it, but I mean, he won us so many fouls. He got his awareness. He come on. He knew what he had to do when he came on, and I thought he did the job that he was asked. Whatever Arteta asked him to do, he definitely went on and done it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And even, I mean, like I did say, on a whole, the attacking 4-5 wasn't really great. Eze had a poor game, quiet game for me. Done that in the first half, like nice touch around the corner for Saka. But other than that, I think he struggled to get in the game and really link up the player. I think we lack someone in the midfield today just to get a hold of the game and dictate the tempo for us.
Mm.
Just to let us keep the ball because we couldn't string passes together. We couldn't retain the ball for more than 5-10 seconds. I mean, again, credit to Brighton. I know their manager was given a bit of jip in the presses before the game, and I think Hincapié shushed him at one point during or
Yeah.
after the game. But yeah, I mean, we're going to get this from managers going forward. I mean, I think the manager commented about our time we take corners.
Yeah, yeah, he's
So
moaning about. He's moaning about
yeah,
after. I mean, today I was meant to be at the game today, and something came up, so I couldn't go. And do you know what? Being at home today, was you there today?
no, I didn't go either.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. And being at home today and watching it in front, it was actually quite nice today. I mean, at
mm,
the end when I saw all the fans, celebrating in City, they realized
yeah,
City had lost. It's like that would be a good train
yeah,
journey home.
true,
But
yeah,
watching the game though, like really watching it and seeing it just in the comfort of my own home and taking in every single detail because sometimes I go to the game, I have a drink, and where your view might not be as good, and your emotions are a bit, you're watching it and you're on tender hooks as I was today, but the TV's literally right there, and I'm like that. Right?
yeah,
And there were just other things that I was noticing in the game sometimes. I mean, look, when I'm at the Emirates, my view is brilliant, so I can kind of see everything. But when you go to an away game, you don't know where you're going to be standing and that. You
mm,
can't always see the game. But there was a lot of things that I saw today in the game. And the main thing was, I mean, a lot of people said that we haven't played well, which, okay, because we attacking wise, we definitely didn't play well. But defensively,
mm,
I thought it was outstanding. Without the ball, our shape was it reminded me of the Arsenal that I know when we go 1 or 2 nil up. Obviously that Wolves game, someone put it in the chat earlier, and I think they got it spot on. That could be, that could very well be the best. I mean, I know it was horrible, but what a great best one of the best things to happen to us. Because I just think now, that's going to be in their heads. Do not ever let that happen again. Do
mm.
not switch off at all. And today you can see they were switched on throughout the whole 90 minutes. We never, as much as Brighton were having the ball, they never really
Yeah.
looked like scoring.
No, you're correct. I mean, I can't remember Ryan making any saves. I think he made one from long distance, and he
Mm,
injured his shoulder at the time. But Brighton just had possession for possession's sake. Really, they wasn't really penetrating our
yeah,
defence, and we seemed in control. Obviously, you want to get 2 goals up because you could see a deflection. Like, I mean, last night Liverpool deflected
anything,
goal.
yeah, anything.
Anything can happen. You know what I mean? So you want to be comfortable and have a 2-0 lead. But at 1-0, even though it was a bit on a bit tenterhooks, I did feel a bit.
Yeah.
I did feel comfortable
I,
and confident that
I
Brighton weren't going
felt
to score.
comfortable, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I was so nervous that if
yeah,
Man
that's the thing.
City
Yeah,
score and we concede, you know what? There right now, there's only 10 people in this live right now. There would be 100 in this live, and they'd be coming for me. They'd be coming
yeah,
for you. You know what I mean? It's crazy stuff, man. I mean, listen, I've done it very spontaneously. I've done it at 12 o'clock at night, so whatever it is, what it is, man. But what I was alluding back to watching the game, I wanted to watch the interviews after because either I go on a live straight away or I'm traveling back from the game. And by the time I get home, match of the day, and do you know what I mean? All of that. So it gets a bit, I'm tired of kids and whatnot. But today I actually watched Arteta's interview. I watched the Brighton manager's interview. I watched the pre, like the post match talking about the game and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, just echoing like everything Keown was saying. These are if Man City had won like this, they would be saying it's a Champions win. And I want to see what the media is going to say about Manchester City now. What are the media going to say about Manchester City? Are they going to be saying that they bottled it? Because they've won 4 out of 5 league titles or whatever. Then can they not bottle it? Because to go twice, they've taken the lead against a team that was 16th or 17th in the Premier League at home. If that was us, and we blew a 2-goal lead at home, and Man City had gone away to a tough game like Brighton. Right now, if honestly, if what we had just me and you just said, like, if our worst nightmare at that moment in the 90th minute, 7 minutes added on, had they scored 94 and we conceded say 92, uh, honestly, it would have been down to 2 points, and they would have had a game in hand, and we would have had to go to the Etihad. I don't know if there would have been any coming back from that. And listen, that's not the case. But let's see how the media paint this picture now. Let's go through some of these comments. Yeah, I like this one. The most points Manchester City get is 91, and the most we can get is 93. I actually believe we could get to 93 points. I do believe we could go and win all 8 of these games. It's not beyond us. It's not
no,
ridiculous to say that at all. You look at all the games. We only play one team in the top 6, and that's Manchester City. And I don't see no reason why we can't go there and win. Big up David Speaks Football. It isn't over until it's done. Of course, it's definitely not over, but if things are looking very, very good with 8 games to go, my friend. Everyone thought we were shaking and wobbling. Well, I also said every time I said, look, it will go because it's been 2 points, like you said, over Christmas. It went down to 2. It's been 5. It's been 7. It went to 9, but it was a false 9 because they still had to play Liverpool. Of course, they went and got that big win. Then we stumbled. But I said, Man City will stumble and it will just keep going like that. And as long as it keeps going like that, we're going to win the Premier League.
yeah. I mean, in a way, I would love to win the Premier League this way because we're not running away with it. This is a
Exactly.
this is a
Exactly.
pressure league,
Exactly.
and I think if we
Exactly.
win one, it could turn to 2 and 3, and I think the second and the third will be leagues that we actually run away with. Because
Yeah.
once we've tasted success and we get comfortable in our skin as being
Yeah.
champions, I think
100%.
I think we can have a little dynasty in the
Also,
next
and
couple
you
of
know
years.
what? I think we'll play more freely, and you'll see better
Yeah,
football. If
yeah,
we
yeah,
win the Premier League this year, I think next year the shackles will be off a little bit more. We're champions now. There'll be maybe a little bit more of an arrogance to the nervousness and the steeliness, and you might see some better football. But listen, do it again like that next year, I'll be over the moon. You know what I mean? I'll be
and
over the
that's what
moon.
makes tonight even just even better because you definitely know the players. Someone probably knew that it was 2-2 in the City game
Yeah.
because you got people shouting.
Oh,
So
100%.
the
Yeah,
message is getting
100%.
the message is getting to the players at some point. It's two
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they know right now. Okay, we can't mess this up,
We can't
which
mess
added
this up.
more pressure to the actual game itself.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I mean they held out well, and yeah, just remarkable. I think someone said Arteta went over to Saka and just
I saw it. I
muttered
saw it.
something. Yeah, then
Yeah,
yeah, I think he said yeah, City
yeah,
drew 2-2, and Saka's like what? Like, yeah, so yeah,
that was good. I
they were
I mean,
aware.
I
Even
watched.
something like that, because the management are aware, so that could like alter Arteta's thinking. You could panic and start
Yeah,
making the wrong
yeah,
subs
yeah,
or
yeah. Hundred
start showing
percent.
the wrong tactics, saying I mean press or don't. It's yeah. So I think it's a great result. Given everything that's going on at the City's game and our game.
Do you know what? On our live yesterday, was you on our last live?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
money,
was.
yeah,
And I actually said I felt like City would drop points at Forest, and Dan laughed at me.
yeah, you
And
did, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
said, I said honestly,
yeah,
I feel like they're gonna. I don't know something. I remember we played Villa away in 2022-23, and I went to Villa, and we beat Villa in the 12 o'clock kickoff 4-2. It was 3-2 Jorginho last minute,
yeah,
and then City played Forest. And I remember Chris Wood scoring, and they drew 1-1, and I thought we were going to win the league. That was the moment, and I was so sure we'd gone to win the Premier League. And obviously, there's similarities. That season there was 8 games to go, and we were 8 points clear. But again, they had a game in hand, and we had to go to the Etihad. We all know what happened. But this time it's different. That's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Let's read this out from David. Man City have bottled it, not Arsenal. There you go. They haven't capitalised or sustained pressure at vital times. They're done. Yeah, I have to agree with you, mate. Big up Anton, good friend of the channel. Tonight is the night we know Arsenal will be champions. 100%. This is what I said. I said this is the night that a lot of fans, I think even the non-believers, I think a lot of non-believers today will turn around, apart from AFC always, will turn around and go, we're going to win the Premier League, we're going to win it. It's all right, guys. You can say it. You can change your mind, right?
I think we're going to be fine. Who's our last away games? I think we've got West Ham.
He did. You're right, Sahal.
Obviously, City.
He did.
West Ham, City, and there's one more.
Palace is
Palace,
the
last game,
season.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about Palace or West Ham, Man City.
So what? Wait, hold on. We've got Man City, West Ham, Palace. Who's the other one? You're not saying we've got 5 home games, are you? Can't be, or is it?
We've got Everton, Bournemouth, Burnley.
Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, Burnley.
Is it one more away game?
Everton, Bournemouth. Did you say at home? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everton, Bournemouth, Burnley, Fulham at home. There are 4 away, 4 at home. Then Man City, West Ham, Palace. Who's the other one? Someone put it in the chat, guys. Palace won't matter. They'll be focusing on the FA Cup on the FA Cup final at Budapest. Yeah, if we've won the league by then, yeah. Hopefully it goes down to the last day. Hopefully Palace are in the conference final. West Ham away won't be easy, bro. They're scraping for their life. Big up Ian Bill. Yeah, but listen, Man City got to play them away as well, straight after playing Real Madrid away. So, yeah, we know Palace away is the last game. So we know we've got Palace away. We know we've got City away. We know we've got West Ham away. We know we have Fulham at home. We know we have Bournemouth at home, Everton at home, Burnley at home. Now, who's the other game? Let's get the fixtures up, man. Let's go for it.
Shit.
Let's get it up because that's doing my head in, to be honest.
Newcastle at home.
Newcastle at home. So it's 5 home games.
So it's 5, yeah.
5 home games, 3 away games. Well, we got this league wrapped up, man. Serious, bro. We got this league wrapped up. There we go. Look, if we win all 5 of our home games, that'll be enough to win the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably right because City have got to go Everton away. They've got to go Chelsea away. They've got tough games, man. We're winning this league, man. We're winning it, man.
I did say if we beat Chelsea and Brighton, we win this league. And I predicted on Monday that I thought we'd draw tonight. So
you said we'd draw, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we'd draw. So I'm ecstatic.
But you said to be fair, though, you said you still think we'd win the league.
Yeah, I still
thought Chelsea scored 4 goals today at
Aston Villa, yeah.
Aston Villa, so it's good for them to pick up a bit of form. We've done them all already, and they've got to play City, and they beat City already at the Etihad, was it? Yeah, they beat them, didn't they? Where they didn't even have a manager. Newcastle at home, everyone's coming. And big up every single person in the chat. Make sure you're smashing those likes for us. Juan Pablo and goal. Yeah, he was top goal scorer 1 year or thereabouts. He got like 24 goals, I remember. Big up Ian Bill. I've been watching you lately in EastEnders, mate. Stealing from people's houses and that. Next 2 home games are crucial. Everton and Bournemouth win those 2, and we're in business. I see City dropping points in one of the next 2 games. Chelsea or West Ham away. Same. I agree with you. Newcastle will. I'm not sure what you're saying about that. They've got them in the FA Cup. Nottingham Forest must be rocking tonight. Well, it was in Manchester, but I mean, listen, they've done us a favour, and that's who Arsenal. That's where we got our colours from. If anyone didn't know, Arsenal got their colours from Nottingham Forest. They borrowed us their kits one time. So listen, thank you for giving us an extra couple of points. I was saying during the stream yesterday, it feels like a 5-point win. Relegation games, they call them 6-pointers. This felt like we got 5 points today because City dropped 2, and obviously we got our 3 points. Newcastle will knock City at the FA Cup. That was a huge for their belief. 100%. That was a big win for them. They needed that, and topped my night off, to be honest, watching the last 15 minutes and seeing Newcastle get that last winner against Manchester United. Mansfield, what you saying about Mansfield? I mean, what I mean, heavy. What are they? League One, League Two, League One, I think.
League One, League One.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
heavy
mean,
rotation.
full rotation. Yeah, full rotation.
Was Jesus on the bench today?
I don't even know.
Bruv, you see, I'm still the best businessman in Albert Square. 100%. You definitely are, Ian. Big up. Nottingham Forest back in the day, Stuart Pearce, Psycho. Yeah, Stuart Pearce. He's on Talksport every now and then as well. I've got a bit of time for Pearce. He was a good player, man. Forest, yeah. Forest are a big club, aren't they? And look, they're struggling at the moment and they've gone and got a point. They've gone and got a point at Manchester City. So, listen, Premier League that's this Premier League. I think Van Dijk said in his interview it's the toughest Premier League he's ever played in
Yeah,
because any team can take points off you. There's none of Liverpool, Man City, when they were winning the league, they just roll over everyone. You just knew they were going to win. They were 1 to 10 to win every game nearly in the bookies and that because they were just rolling over everyone. Because it was the teams. Look, this is the football might not be as good, and the big teams might not be as far away as the other ones, so they don't look as good. But these other teams, these Bournemouths, Everton's now, and Aston Villas, they're top teams now. They're all a lot better than what they were. That's
yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
what I would say in our favour is the likes of the Bournemouths, the Newcastle, and the Evertons, where they are in the league. They're not actually playing for anything as such. I don't think they're going to challenge for top five. They might get eighth, play for conference, but they're not getting relegated. So I think that could help us in terms of their intensity on the day. Newcastle
Yeah.
would definitely be focused on the Champions League. I don't know. Actually, do we still play them? Would they still be in at that point? I'm not sure if they've been out. They've been kicked out by Barcelona by then.
Listen, you
Um,
never know that they could even knock Barcelona out. You
they could. I
never know
mean,
if they get a big win at home, if they can beat them at home and go defensive. I think where's the first leg be played at Barcelona, right?
um,
If they go there
it
and
was,
don't get
yeah,
smashed, you never know because Newcastle at home are that place. That place on a night game can really rock as they've proved tonight.
yeah. So Jesus was an unused sub. Yeah, I mean, for Mansfield, yeah. You got to play Marley Salmon. You got to play Mascara again.
I mean, Dalman was on the bench today, wasn't he? So
Yeah,
I think Dalman's got to play in that game, surely.
yeah. I think I rotated 11
I,
strong enough to beat Mansfield. You'd hope
yeah,
so. I think Mick Arteta, being the cautious manager, he would take a few. He'll take a few starters, but they won't come off the bench. Hopefully,
yeah,
there's no need for it. I mean, can you imagine the condition of their pitch won't be that great? I mean, League
yeah.
One pitch. You don't want to get any injuries to our top players. Who's our next game after Mansfield? Was it Everton? Everton.
Evan Nilson's
Yeah,
still at Bournemouth. He's
yeah,
still at
yeah,
Bournemouth, as far as I know. He's still there, yeah.
yeah. He's still at Bournemouth.
I'll be live for Fire and Cannons post game shortly. Big up the Gooners Therapy Brother channels all day long. Make sure you're tuning in as soon as Anton is live on Fire and Cannons, one of the best Arsenal content creators out there. So make sure you check that out. Newcastle in a false position. Their midfield is world class. I don't know. I think their midfield got a little bit overrated, if I'm being perfectly honest. Good midfield, world class, not for me, but good, definitely.
So, do you think we'll be able to wrap this league up early and potentially focus on the Champions League?
Look,
Um,
I think we will win our games. So I mean, it comes down to City really.
yeah,
Because if City keep winning, then they can take it to the last 2 games of the season. And
mm,
look, if by the time we play them in 6 weeks' time, which a lot could happen by then, right?
mm,
If we play them, I think, and I'm not sure how many Premier League games get played between now and then, because obviously there's the international break and there's
the
FA
final.
Cup.
Yeah,
So and then obviously the final itself. So I'd imagine about 3 Premier League games would have been played by then, and I think they played Chelsea before then. I think
yeah, they do. Yeah,
so. I think they will drop points. And listen, if we go into that game with the game in hand and it's 10 points, I think it's done. To be honest, but listen, if Man City keep winning their games and then they go and beat us at the Etihad, it is very much back on. So because if they were to beat us and cut it down to 2 points, well, no, let's say 7 points. Say it stayed at 7 points and they beat us, it'd go down to 4. But they had a game in hand. It would
yeah,
be
yeah,
really squeaky bum time. And
yeah.
listen, it's not over. It is not. It's not over. That's for sure. I don't want to say it that we're going to go and wrap it up early. Potentially we could, but I still think there's, there could be another twist in the turn. We just don't know. God forbid we could go to Everton and draw, and they could go and beat West Ham. You just never know. But it's nice that we've got that cushion now, that just in case something like that does happen, we're still in control. We're still in control. It's not in
If,
Manchester
if
City's
it was
hands.
4 going to the Etihad, how would you approach it? Just
As,
hypothetically,
su-
if
as
it's, if
such,
it,
well, if it's you mean if it's seven, but they still have a game in hand. So let's
yeah, yeah,
let's call it four. I think you've got I think you'd have to have a game plan where obviously you want to win it, but if it gets to that stage and it's 75 minutes, you take the
mm,
draw. Probably.
yeah.
You would have to. You would have to, really. You'd have to, but it's such a tough one because then you do that, you drop back, they score, and then I don't know. It's such a tough one. We was in the same
Um,
situation, wasn't we? And we took the draw.
yeah.
And had we beat Aston Villa, it would have worked. So it's a tough one. How would you go through it?
I mean, player for player, we're as City, so I wouldn't be fearful. We have
100%.
everything's open to us. We can go there, try and win. And like you said,
Yeah.
as the game goes on, we may think, okay, we'll take a draw because I mean the draw is nothing gained, nothing lost. It's perfect for us. Um, so I wouldn't say I'm going to set up to win. I think I'll set up how we set up against Liverpool
Mm,
earlier in the season. I know that some say playing negative, but we still had chance on the break.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and Liverpool, I mean, Man City are seemingly vulnerable on the break. If we can get
Mm,
our players like Martinelli, Saka, Noni, if he plays them on the break, we could, do some damage to them. I think Havertz will play going forward to see it for the season now. If he stays fit, I think Havertz is going to be the preferred player up front because he gives us the option to get out and allows players to run on behind him with his hold up play. But
yeah,
yeah, let's just get there first and see how many points we're ahead.
that's
So
it, man. That's it.
we'll definitely be ahead still. So it's just how many.
Bet negative North side will still be whining tonight. Man, not happy unless Arsenal are losing. It looks like he's being proved right. Some Arsenal fan. Listen, I'm telling you now, there's going to be some certain Arsenal content creators that are probably a little bit pissed off tonight, deep down, that their agenda is getting shut down. Yeah. Do you think some players look like they ran on empty? I think Zubimendi looks very tired, and they actually mentioned it in commentary today that he's covered the most ground in the Premier League. So listen, it's good that he came off for those last 15 minutes. He does look tired. I mean, Rice today, Rice looked like he had more energy than ever today. And he looked a little bit jaded against Chelsea. He wasn't at his best. I thought he was back to his best today. Combative, winning the ball. He carried that ball up the pitch for us so many times when we needed him today. He won us fouls today. I thought Rice was fantastic. Who is better, Newcastle or Everton football wise? Well, who's a bigger team is Everton. They've got 9 league titles. They've got more league titles than Chelsea. Who's better football wise is in playing football? I don't think either of them playing particularly great football.
Mm,
I big up the Everton who was in it the other day. Big yourself up. The Everton lad Malcolm that was in. He said you're going to be there at the game on Saturday. I'll see you then. Try and meet you if possible. As long as we show a bit of attacking intent while staying compact, we will do City. They leak so many
mm,
chances. Yeah, look, I
I
agree.
agree.
Big up Marty. He sent me a WhatsApp. Let's check the WhatsApp. Let's check the WhatsApp from Marty.
I actually probably think that some City players have probably their heads gone down after that result. Um, I think they were probably confident they were going to catch us, and they didn't expect to draw tonight. No way. I don't think any. I mean, obviously, I think you thought they could drop some points, but I don't think anyone
Yeah,
realistically in their mind thought that City were going to drop points against Nottingham Forest. Some people could say it's on par with us drawing away at Wolves. I mean, they're at home with their home record. Um, but yeah, I mean, seeing Pet's face after the game, he barely looked at Vitor Pereira, and I just gave him a handshake and went on his merry way.
yeah. Leverkusen. What do you know? What do you think? I mean, they're sixth in the Bundesliga. Of course, they beat Manchester City. What do you think about Leverkusen?
Yeah, I was looking at them earlier. They got a decent home record. I think they've won 7, drawn 2, lost 3 at home. scored 20 and conceded 11. I was checking it earlier just to check them out, see what they're like. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not the same team of the yesteryear, the unbeaten team. Obviously, I lost a lot of players. Jabi Londo's moved on, but you still have to respect these teams when you go, especially when you go away. Playing home in the second leg is a massive advantage. We can go there, we have to win. We can go there and get a draw and bring it back to the Emirates. I've even said, even if we go 1-0, bring a 1-0 down, come back with 1 goal defeat, I think at home we're capable of overturning that against any team in the Champions League. So we've got to go there and respect them. Do I think we'll win? Yes. I don't think we'll destroy them, but I think we're capable of going there and beating them. Like I said, they're not the same team of yesteryear, but we have to be focused. I mean, they beat Man City, didn't they? I think they went to Etihad and won, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. City
Yeah,
rested quite a few players. Oh, sorry, bro. One sec. Yeah, City rested a few players that time, but
yeah. So
I'll just put the link in there for Marty to jump on. Well,
cool.
only not going to do much longer, but I'll just put it in there. Come and join us for the last 15 minutes or so, if he wants to.
What do you think about Leverkusen?
Leverkusen, yeah. Listen, look, listen. A lot of people say, it's an easy draw. I don't think it's an I don't think there's no easy games in the Champions League. Now you even look at Bodo Glimt, people saying it's easy. They've knocked out Inter Milan, who are currently top of Serie A, and I've watched Inter Milan a few times this season on Serie A, and they've looked really, really good. I know we went over there and beat them, but Bodo Glimt to knock them out. I mean, listen, of course you would be happy for Arsenal to play them, but they're dangerous at home. They've beaten Manchester City at home. Sporting Lisbon, you'd expect us to beat them as well, but they're not straightforward games. And Bayer Leverkusen, on their day at home with a big German crowd behind them, could cause any team problems. So listen, like you said, I don't expect us to go there and blitz them at all in either game. But do I expect us to go through? Of course,
Yeah,
100%. I'm not going to lie. The Champions League, I've never said we're going to win it because of our history. We've never won it. And I believe that does play a part in these competitions. And because, anything can happen in a game. You could have one bad minute. You could be good throughout all the games, and then you have one bad minute, concede a penalty, and you're out. You're done. There's no coming back. There's no recovering. A game like Wolves or whatever. There's no coming back from it. Do you know what I mean? So, but now I've seen the draw. I can actually say I think we're going to win the Champions League now. I really do.
yeah. I, I think we're gonna. Yeah, so am I.
What a night! What a
What are
night,
you
Marty!
saying, boys?
What a night, Marty, man!
Seven
What a
points
day!
clear at the top of the Premier League.
Oh, what a
Oosh.
night, man! Honestly, bro,
Come
so
on.
buzzing, man. Honestly, I just could not be happier, man. It's just so happy today, man. It's just like,
You hear
you know
me?
what, Marty? Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear us? Yeah, watching that game, right? The last 10 minutes, I just can you
Can you hear
hear us?
me?
We
Is there
can
some
hear you, but can
internet
you not hear us?
internet problems here?
If you can't hear us, log out and log back in.
Let me turn my.
Hold on. No, it's not that. Hold on.
There you go.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
hear you.
How we
You
doing,
can't hear
gents?
us.
How are you, Dan?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Is that
Oh,
Dan's
no,
internet cutting out or mine?
no,
No,
it's
it's
yours, bro.
yours.
It's mine,
It's not
yeah.
your
Yeah.
internet. You need to log out and come back in. It does that sometimes. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let him log out and come back in. Yeah, I was going to tell him about the game, but look, Champions League. Yeah, I was also saying, I actually think. Listen, look, I expect us to get to a semi-final now at the very least. Whereas before, depend if we drew Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then, or even some of the English teams. I didn't want an English team. Right? Can you hear us now? Because we
I
could
can hear
hear
you now,
you.
man. Can you hear me?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could always hear you. You couldn't hear us. Yeah. Listen, it's so annoying when it does that. It happens to me quite a lot,
No,
man.
sorry,
It's really,
mate.
really annoying. But
Good stuff.
yeah, what I was going to say. So the last 10 minutes of that game, Mike, like in your look, listen, I thought we were defending so well. There was no jitters. We were playing really well defensively.
Yeah.
But I just thought in my head, if Man City nick one 90th minute and we concede one, I don't know if there'll be any coming back from that. Honestly, that would have been that would have been a gutter punch. Just the thought of it's making me want to get sick. And I was just like, if Man City score and we concede, because 1 minute to keep sharing the table, 7 points clear. Oh, what's going on here? But anyway, there we go.
Technical problems all over the park.
No, I know what's going on. 7 points clear, and then it could have changed to 2 points. And obviously, they've still got this game in hand. It would have been a
Yeah,
disaster. Not what happened. They took the lead twice today. Twice
yeah.
they've taken the lead, and they've bottled it. I'm going to say it, mate, because everyone says it to us. That's what they've done.
Yeah, do you know what, Dan? That's the thing. Football's full of if, buts, and maybes. And like you said, it didn't happen. And listen, we won the game and they drew. And that's how it goes sometimes. And that's why, I suppose, especially after the Wolves game, I kind of kept my head. It was a disappointing result, 100%. But look,
Mm.
tonight, I think it's a pivotal point in this title race. That was a really, really tough performance away from home. A very resilient Brighton, and fair play to them. They came at us out of the blocks and they really didn't give us an inch all game. And they went at us. And this is the thing with this Arsenal side is, listen, if you want to do that and come at us, listen, we'll catch you on a break, we'll nick a goal, we'll win it 1-0. Or if you want to put
Mhm.
11 men behind the ball, we'll break you down. Or listen, if you want to get physical with us, we'll match you and we'll play that game. So it's that's what I'm loving seeing about this Arsenal side. There's many ways, to our game. We get the job done. We've got the points on the board, and it's a fantastic result. It was tense. It was nervy, and yeah, this is what champions do. When we ain't playing well, we're still playing well and we're still getting results. And yeah, I mean, what was so great about that result as well? It's Nottingham Forest. They've picked up a
Mate,
point. West Ham win. Spurs are closer to the trapdoor.
I know,
Like,
mate.
and we're 7 points clear. It literally could not have gone any better. To be honest, I would have sacrificed that point from City to give Nottingham Forest that point. And what for them as well, getting that point against City away from home is going to be massive in this title race. And what you're seeing right here, right now, with your Wolves, your West Hams, your Nottingham
Mm.
Forest, your Leeds, but hopefully Crystal Palace tomorrow night is teams that are geared up for relegation battles because because they've been there before. Whereas Tottenham haven't. But
Yeah.
tonight's our night, and that's just, I think, the cherry on the top of the cake. And damn, did that cake taste good tonight, man?
I think today, yeah, is the night that even the doubters will start to believe. Even the Arsenal fans that have never really thought we're going to win it. I think even today, surely they'll look and go, do you know what? It's written in the stars for Arsenal to go and win the Premier League. Let me just read this out from Lee A, because I actually do remember seeing you. I think you was with your dad as well. So big up to you, man. Thanks for coming on to the channel and showing some love. Um, yeah, it's going to be some heart and party. Listen, it's going to be the biggest party London has ever seen when we win however many trophies we're going to win. Because me and Marty have, you've come on my show before and we speak a lot on AFTV and we talk about what trophies we're going to win. And I've always kind of said, me and you, I think have both said the same thing. Premier League and Carabao Cup are the two we think will win. We're obviously in the final of that now, 7 clear in the Premier League. Listen, I'm looking at the Champions League now. And with the draw, I don't want to get carried away here, but
We're looking at it all, mate. We're looking at it
honestly, mate,
all.
we really are.
And
Obviously,
Dan, this is the thing, right? Do you know what? Okay, listen, we've got to get the job done. It's as simple as that. We've got to get the job done on many fronts. But I would like to say, and I'm close to saying, like, listen, people like you and myself have been called out all
mm,
season long for being positive and believing in this side, and that's how much sweeter this result will be to go and win the league and maybe the Carabao Cup. And listen, imagine a treble happened this season, and that's
I
why
know.
sometimes this sort of throwaway society of managers and stuff, and this carousel that you see other teams do. That's why it's not always about that. But
Hmm.
I don't want to speak too soon. The job's not done. We know City's caliber. We know what they can do. We know what they're capable of. But tonight, listen, that was a nervy game. We scored, went 1-0 up, and I've watched many a performance like that when Arsenal have won titles and
Yeah.
stuff beforehand, and it's always a tense affair. But what a night, and it's proving what a time to be an Arsenal fan. They've just got to go on now. They've put themselves in an absolutely fantastic position to go and stick this over the line and do it emphatically. And like you say, the party in North London. Imagine a party with 3 titles or the Carabao Cup and
Oh
Premier
mate,
League. And listen, it's going to be, and it will go down in history. That this Arsenal side that is killing football, that they're terrible
Mm.
and they play boring football and all of this. Oh, set piece FC, own goal FC, and then we go and do it. I don't care how we do it. I just care about doing it.
Of course. No, I mean, at the start of the season, I said that I think Arsenal win the Premier League, and I said that I think once we go top, we will stay top. And I said, listen, we might lose a game here or there or draw. Same goes with Man City, but I said ultimately, I believe that we will stay top of the Premier League throughout the whole of the Premier League, and we've been top since I think we only came off top spot once in I think it was around Christmas time, but that's because they played an extra game. We played the next day and we won, and we got it back. So yeah, I mean everything I've said so far is coming true, and not just to blow my own trumpet or whatever. But like you said, there's been people that have ridiculed me. I've gone on Straight Facts with on the Football Terrace. I've gone on AFTV and I've done my speeches. I've gone on my own channel here and argued with people.
And you've
And
sung
after
songs as well, Dan.
I've sung songs exactly. And after the Wolves game, right,
Do you know what, that
we
quickly,
had
Dan? Your
go on.
predictions, that if they come true, they might end up calling you Nostradamus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it won't be deluded, Dan. It will be,
It would
it
be
will be,
Nostradamus.
yeah, not Tradanis, psychic Dan. Yeah, right. Because I mean, even today earlier in the chat, I was like, the quad is very much on. And listen, I'm not sitting out here and saying we are going to definitely win the quad. It's a long arc, but it's easily possible. We could beat anyone in a knockout game for sure.
Mm.
And you expect us to get through Mansfield. That leaves us in the quarterfinals. We're already in a final. Well, you might as well say we're in a final of a Premier League because it's between us and City. So
Yeah, I think between now and the Etihad game, or should I say the Etihad game, we've got
mm,
I think Everton and Bournemouth. I think there's
yeah,
those are the 2 games. Listen, if we win those and then we go to
they
the Etihad and we beat them there, like we will be,
and
we win
who've they
both of
got? They've
those.
got they've got they've got West Ham and Chelsea away,
Yeah, which
isn't
listen,
it?
Chelsea away could be tough for them. West Ham are fighting for their lives, and personally, I said this before. West Ham out of the bottom lot are playing the best football. They got a job done tonight, and imagine going to the empty had and winning. We win those 2 games and then go there and win. The title's done. We'll be 10 points clear, and you'd like to say there'd be no way back for City because I think that would be if we won a Carabao Cup and
Mhm.
then we went there and won. I know it's all if buts and maybes, then I think that'll be the sucker punch for them. They've got before that game as well. They've got 2 tough games with Real Madrid.
Exactly.
And we know
And
what them
after Real
games are
Madrid,
about.
they
Yeah,
play
they're not
Real
easy
Madrid
games,
away,
man.
and then they play at West Ham 3 days later. Whereas every time we play away in the Champions League, we play at home after in the Premier League. So that bodes well for us. Mansfield, what would you do? Would you mind? I mean, Dalman was on the bench today. I mean, what we saying? Are we 10 changes? Do you think,
Yeah,
or
look,
something like
look.
that?
This for me. This is where you definitely play your Norgard, your Miles Lewis, Skellies. Um, if Ben White's available, Kepa, Jesus, Martinelli, Trossard, Madwakey, and probably Eze to give him a bit of more game time, a bit more confidence. Maybe you've got options with Havertz.
He weren't great
Listen,
today, was he, Eze?
yeah, no, it wasn't fantastic. But then also,
Mm.
listen, Max Dowman's come back into the
Mhm.
side as well. So there's an option for him to maybe play a bit of football against the perfect opposition. So definitely, you need to ring the changes. For me, Declan Rice and Zubimendi look tired and they need a rest. Obviously, Saliba, we don't know what's happening. Well, I don't know what's happening there. But you've got to ring the changes. You've got to rest important players and you've got to give certain players game time. But again, look, the worst bit for me about that game, if out of that whole draw you wanted me to pick a side, it would probably be Mansfield. They're near the relegation in League One. They're not a
Similar to
fantastic
Wigan,
side.
isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, they're
similar
not.
to
Yeah,
Wigan.
it's very similar. The only downside of that tie is away from home. Listen, we're used to
Mm.
playing on a carpet and Premier League grounds, and
Yeah,
anyone who's played on Premier League surfaces and League One, League Two surfaces, they'll know the difference. There is a difference in it, and obviously the sort of football that we play, probably will make a slight difference, but you'd expect us to be far too powerful. I understand the joys of the FA Cup and this, the magic of the FA Cup, but if we don't go through in this, and also Man City have got Newcastle. That's a tough game. We saw Newcastle tonight. That was a game against Manchester United, and they got the result. They're going to go into that game fancying
Yeah,
themselves. They really
100%.
are. So it's all aligning. It's all looking in our favours. We've just got to keep one the belief, one the pressure, one the pace, and I think sometimes this situation. This is the situation where Arteta and the boys need to knuckle down and be like, right, we're in this fantastic position. Let's go and do it now. It's completely in our hands. It's there for the taking. Let's go and do it. And it will. What a joyous, momentous season it will be if this all goes to plan, man. Wow. I've been
Right.
waiting years.
Just on that though, Marty, what you said about Man City playing against Newcastle away, which is going to be really tough for them. Who would you rather go through in that game?
In which game?
In Man City when they play Newcastle this weekend.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I'd like it to be a tough, really tough game for them. Look, as mad as it sounds,
Man City on penalties.
yeah, I'd say Man City on penalties tight, and I'd like it to be a tough game. And the reason why I say Man City, because listen, the more games Man City have got, we all know their
Exactly. I
situation at the
agree.
back with Diaz and Vardiol, and they've got some. Haaland's been in and out of fitness. The more games and the more fixtures they can have, it's not going to work in their favours. In their favour at all, really. And that's just it. You do I want them in the next? But again, there's not really any team. I mean, listen, we've beaten Bayern Munich, we've beaten Atletico Madrid, we've beaten
Inter Milan.
Chelsea's, we've beaten Manchester United, we've beaten like we can do it on our day. This is as well this season. What's different for me is, I suppose last season when we were facing Real Madrid, there was a bit of me. I was like, "Oh, it's Real Madrid. We all know what they can do." And I was going into those games with a bit of doubt. This season, there ain't one team that, and this is just how I see it. There's not one team on the planet that I don't go in fancying our chances. I just don't.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Listen, SJ Marty, both of you, we were just talking about this a second ago, right? We've got 5 home games and 3 away games left in the Premier
Yeah.
League. Now, someone said in the chat earlier, I think it was Anton, if we win our 5 home games, do you think that will be enough?
Look, I said, I said this, I think when we were on 10 games, that I'd expect us to draw 2 and lose 1. Realistically, we've lost 3 games all season. And in the Premier League, and listen, this might be a bit out there, but you can generally afford to lose 5 games and be champions. Depend on how many you draw to win. So look, I'm not saying it's okay to go and lose any games. We need to get it wrapped up. Like I said, I believe if you beat Bournemouth, you beat Everton, and then you go and beat City, I believe City will be like, right. Not that they'll give up and just roll over, because that's not them, but I think that will be a real gut punch. It will be a real kick in the balls to them, and they'll kind of be like, it's 10 points for Arsenal to lose 3 games and draw 1 out of the remaining. By then it will be 5 games. Looks pretty slim. So that would be out of 5 games. We've got to draw 3 of them and lose 3 of them, draw 1, and then win 1. And I think we still win it. We'll still win it. So it will be literally in our hands. After that, we go and win a couple of games, and they drop points. It's done. It's wrapped. And what I would like to, no, I'm not going to say it. Actually, I'm not going to say it. But obviously you've got the West Ham game, and then it's over to Tottenham. But it's a great position. It's a great position to be in.
Marty, while you're here on this comment here, what would you say to a comment like this? Because someone else, I have a lot of, like I said to you, when we dropped points at Wolves, this was a very spontaneous live I did, right? So, I didn't post it anywhere, I didn't do anything, and I come on at 12 o'clock at
Yeah.
night. So I didn't expect it to be busy, right? But when we came on after the Wolves game, we did come on like kind of straight away. So look, you probably had a few more people on for that reason anyway. But We had the most people ever on our channel at
Yeah.
one time. We had like over 100 people watching at one time. It ended up doing over like 2,000 views, and
Look at
everyone was
you
in
go.
here.
Gooners
E-
therapy
yeah,
flying
everyone was in
high.
here.
Go on, son.
Everyone was in here. They were all in here for me because they wanted to grill me. But a lot of them Arsenal fans, but negative ones, right? And today I'm like, where is everyone, right? Obviously, I've come on very late, but Jez has just come in now, who is a fan of, who is a friend of the channel. He's come on before. He's an older boy. He's supported Arsenal for years, and I'm surprised because someone else said in a comment earlier, awful football that was today. Rather than being happy and joyous and writing, 7 points clear, we're going to win the league or something like that. Just crap football. And Jez has just come in now. Jez is Arsenal 1967 and said that was a shit game. Embarrassing seeing that first hand at the Amex. So I'm guessing he was there at the game. What do you say to that when you see things like that, Marty, or you see a
Look,
comment like that now?
do you know what? So, I mean, the part of that was obviously seeing that firsthand. I wasn't there and I didn't see it firsthand, but I watched it obviously on the watch along AFTV.
Hmm.
And listen, I understand the point. It wasn't the best game of football from an Arsenal perspective, and it certainly wasn't champagne football, and it certainly wasn't. We went there and absolutely ironed about 4 or 5 nil. It didn't work out like that. But obviously, big respect to Jez. But obviously, if he's been watching Arsenal and been watching football for that period of time, he'll know that sometimes when you win championships, and this is what I said earlier, sometimes you're not going to win every game. It's not going to be pretty.
Well, these
You're
guys would
going
have
to.
watched George. They would have watched George Graham, So
Well, this is what I'm saying, and honestly, some of them 88, 89 games that I watched, and some of them the 1990, 91, there was some drab stuff in there, but the league and cup double, especially in '93, I say terrible football. It's about getting the job done. Like it's the three
here he
points.
is. He's gonna
That
join
today.
Marty. He's gonna join us, Money. So I'm gonna ask him about it now. Here's big
Evening.
up, Jez. Thanks for joining the channel, my
Yes,
friend.
Jez.
I just want to ask you, Jez, on what? Why was that the first thing that you said, rather than being? I'm sure you was at the game today, yeah. So rather than being joyous that we've gone 7 points clear, one step closer to winning the Premier League, why is the first thing you've said about? Why is the first thing you said? It was a shit game and it's embarrassing when essentially I feel like we didn't get 3 points today. We got five because obviously City have dropped two with one. Feel like it's a really, really big day for Arsenal Football Club. 22 years we've waited for a Premier League, and I feel like this could be a pivotal day in the season for us to go on and win the Premier League. And you have always maintained you think we can do it. But yeah, just wanted to ask you about that comment. Why is that the first thing you've come in and said?
I agree with you. I do agree. Yeah, I mean, Man City cocked up tonight. Look, at the end of the day, I am absolutely convinced Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. Yeah, I think we're going to shithouse it because other teams are falling by the wayside. I'm not saying this is the greatest Arsenal team I've ever seen play. No, I'm not. But we're gonna get there. I swear down, we are going to win the league because at the end of the day, Man City are holding on by the skin of their teeth. Other teams are falling off, so it's all good, isn't it? It's all good. You can't deny it. I'm not going to sit here and criticise. My comment was, right?
Yeah, but what I want to know is first, I thought first and foremost, I thought maybe it would be listen, great 3 points today. Good that City dropped points, 7 points clear. But the first thing was just shit game, yeah, shit football or whatever it was you said. I mean, I thought that would be maybe something you once you get into a conversation, you would say, listen, we've got the 3 points today, buzzing. But fucking hell, that was a hard watch, which I agree, by the way. It wasn't, it was, I thought defensively we were outstanding, but going forward, there was nothing.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, look, having been and seen it, and I was fortunate today. I was in the Amex Lounge corporate. My
Ooh.
opposing grandfather, my grandson's other grandfather,
Yeah.
he's chief exec at American Express. So the last 3 games I've been there, we got in corporate. I go into the corporate, and it's fantastic. But that's beside the point. It was amazing. But what I saw tonight from Arsenal was not great. And what I want to lead on to here, Dan, Matt, Marty, and SJ. What I want to lead on to, I'm convinced that we are going to win the league. Right? We've done this before under George Graham. Right? We've not been brilliant, and we've not flourished the game. We haven't been, all rosy football. What my worry is this, right? That playing like this we've seen tonight in the Champions League, that's my worry. That is my worry. The one I really, really want, and I'm sure you guys and the chat also want it, right, is that Champions League. We want that. We've never done it. We got there once, and I have to say, we got cheated. Don't care what anybody says. We got fucking cheated. So, I don't want this to happen again. So, Arsenal, you've got to step up. That performance tonight was awful. Sat there watching it, right? Now, let's be fair. I was sat with a lot of people that weren't interested in the game at all. They were just corporate people there for a day out, and that's fine. I get it. I enjoyed my experience because I could go out on the balcony and enjoy the game in luxury, and it's not every day we get that sort of opportunity. But we need to step up a gear here. That was poor today. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. That was poor.
Defensively?
Sorry?
Defensively,
no.
Yeah. Defensively, I thought it was outstanding. I thought Nkapie
we were right. I
brilliant.
think made a
Gabriel was, wow. He was formidable. I just think our attack was not good today.
He saved us in that.
Oh, yeah. First minute.
Yeah, that nonsensical thing that Raya did. And that's my worry with him. But we've seen other goalkeepers from Arsenal do that in the past. But the thing is, after that, we didn't offer a lot.
Jez, when you talk about the Champions League, though, because we've got, listen, Mansfield, yeah, we don't really need to touch on that too much. We know we're going to win. We're going to make changes, but then we play Leverkusen, and obviously you've seen the draw. We've got a favourable draw. If we get through Leverkusen, if we get through them, it'll be Bodo Glimt or Sporting Lisbon, and then it'll either be. It looks like it'll probably be Barcelona or Newcastle. But I mean, when you say you're worried about the Champions League, in the Champions League, in the league phase, we scored the most goals. We beat Bayern Munich 3-1. We put 4 goals versus Atletico Madrid, 3 goals against Inter Milan. Scored the most goals, conceded the least, played our best football we've played this year. It's probably been in the Champions League, where you play against a better opposition who don't sit in as much, and games kind of get opened up a bit more. They're not used to the set pieces, the physical side that you get over here in England. I mean, I'm not too worried about the style of play in the Champions League.
I am, because if we play like that tonight in the Champions League, we're in trouble. I'm not talking about Bayer Leverkusen, but as we develop into the rest of the tournament, we'll get caught out. I'm sorry, that just was not. I was there. I watched it. It was. If we
play against a Barcelona, I agree, but I think it would be a totally different game, and we'd have a totally different approach. At Barcelona, if we do play Barcelona, listen, you expect Barcelona to get to the semi with their route, and you expect Arsenal. There's a lot of ifs and buts, and we're kind of being disrespectful to the other teams here. But
I expect Arsenal to get to the final.
Listen,
not lost the game. I mean, let's be fair. I expect Arsenal to get there because we have not lost a game in the Champions League. So therefore, I'm expecting the best of the best from Arsenal. Tonight, I didn't see the best of the best. Now, we could all sit and say, well, okay, it's one of them nights, right? It's a difficult game at Brighton. We haven't done well at Brighton for quite about, 5 years? So
Yeah, I mean, I went there last year and it was absolutely freezing cold, and we went 1-0 up, and then we drew 1-1. It was horrible. So really, really happy to get the 3 points
it
today. And I
wasn't
think
freezing cold tonight, was it? It was
no,
14 degrees today.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So that's
What's
not an
happened to
excuse.
Mark? Is he fallen asleep?
You can't make
Or is he
excuses,
frozen?
Dan, about temperatures. It's the same
No,
for both.
no, no. I'm saying for me as a fan going, it was horrible. It was icy and snowy. I'm not
I
making
mean,
excuses for the
I can
players.
tell you at half time there was a lot of noise coming from the Arsenal fans who were right down there in the corner behind me, down there. They weren't happy. They were not happy. Right?
Yeah, listen, I totally get that. When you go to a game and you're there, listen, me and Dan, who I do the show with, you've met him before, obviously on air. You know, he had never been to a game with me. Then when he went to a game with me, he was like, "Fucking hell, I can't believe how you are at a game." I said, "Listen, when I'm at the game, I'm stressed out as anyone. I'm not sitting there clapping crap. Do you know what I mean?" And even watching it today, I was, I was tearing the little air
Would you
I've
say
got
that
out.
was a
It
good
was, it was, it
performance
was,
today?
it was
I
a hard watch.
ask you, gentlemen, would you say that was a good performance tonight?
Let's go to SJ. We haven't had spoken a bit, and then we'll go to Marty.
Defensively, yes. Attacking on attacking front, I said no, but I think it was we just grind out a result, and I think at this point in the season, we're just going to need those kind of those kind of games. We're gonna get those. You know, the season's been long. We've played loads of games at this point, and at this point we need to grind out results. We had 9 games left before today, and we've got 8 games left now. So, I mean, and on the Champions League point, I don't think we've played the same way we have in the league and the Champions League. It's like I think, like Dan said, the setup's a bit different from the opposition. I think we play a bit more free in the Champions League. We get more space to play how we want to play, and I think we look better on the Champions League stage. But tonight, I mean, I think it's just your wording, Jez. It was a shit game. You can say it was a shit game. I agree, in terms of overall how we played. It wasn't sexy football. We didn't look like we could score 2 or 3. It was like one and pretty much not hold on, but just batten down the hatches and get the win. But yeah, I was happy with tonight. Just a result, you know. I'm past the stage of looking for sexy football or great performances. I just need the wins just to get us over the line, to be honest.
On that note, quickly before we bring Marty in, Jez, so you left the stadium happy though, right? Over the moon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no. Look,
yeah, that's what it's about.
I'm not making this out to be a bad night out, right? It was not a great performance. We got 3 points. Man City drew, right? So we're now 7 points. All right, they've got their game in hand. Look, I'm sitting here, right, and saying that we're going to win the league.
Yes,
we are going to win. Look, you know,
I'm going to hold you to that, Jez.
Sorry,
I'm going to hold you to that, mate. If it doesn't come true.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. I respect that. But right now, right then, Marty, you know, let's get it right. Man City are chasing us, but they made a big error tonight. Yeah, you know, I'm not an Arteta fan. I think you know that, but I will respect the fact that he can get us over the line, and maybe criticise me for this one, right? And I respect it, right? I'm thinking ahead now. I'm thinking
quadruple.
Champions
You're thinking
League.
about winning the league, Jez. I've seen you this happy in ages.
Hey, sorry, mate.
I've seen you this happy in ages. I thought it was just a hospitality, but no. Jez thinks we're going to win the league.
I do. Look.
And Jez,
never thought I'd hear the day.
Jez, if we do win the league, and let's say we win a Champions League with it as well, I mean, would you? You said you're not a fan of Arteta. Would you then become a fan of Arteta?
Yes.
Respectfully, I'd have to say to you, how could I not be? Because, how could I not?
I love it.
Come on.
Dan, you've turned him.
Yes. Vamos. Can we get a Vamos?
Jez, your name will end up being positive, Jez.
Come on. Look, come on. Look, I'm an honest Arsenal fan, right? I've had arguments about many different things. But if this manager, Arteta, wins the Premier League, right, and then goes on to win a Champions League, I will say this to you right now, and you can clip me and do whatever you want to do.
Oh,
Give
damn
him a
well.
statue, because nobody else has ever done it.
Fair play to you, Jez. Fair play. Let's get a little clap up there.
Go
Come
on,
man.
Jez. Go on, Jez.
Go on,
Come
Jez.
on.
Done it.
That's what we see when we're all united together like this. There's no
And you
stopping
can
us.
clip
There's
me on
no
that one.
stopping us.
You can clip me as much as you like. Put it all over YouTube, TikTok, God knows where. You want to do.
Jez,
All
you're
right, let me
going
check where
viral,
we
mate.
are. 1 hour and 24 minutes in. All right, I better put that in my notes.
Look, guys, come on. Yeah, I love my club, right? I love my club to death.
Oh, we
Yeah.
know that, Jez, for sure.
And the thing is, if this manager does the ultimate, right? Yeah, then I've got to say, well done. You proved me wrong. Fantastic. Well done. And Josh Kroenke, if he wins a Champions League, Premier League, or let me go back. If he wins a League Cup, Champions League, right? Yeah. It's got to be in it. You've got to give credit where credit is due. Give him the statue. Sorry.
Straight away.
Never did I
agree.
thought I'd see the day where Jezzy's talking about Mikel Arteta getting statues. How things change in football.
Come on, man. Look, I don't like the guy. I don't like his style
You
of
cheered me up
football.
even more today. I was happy. I was happy before I come in here after that result, nicking at 3 points in a bad game at the Amex. But
I
Jesus,
don't like his style of football. Right?
you're talking up, mate. Listen, I
my
like
only
3 points.
argument.
But did you like George Graham's?
Huh?
Did you like
Sorry.
George Graham's style of football?
Not particularly. Not particularly. But we went up to Anfield in '89 and won.
Here's a question for you, for all of you guys. Yeah, do you? Because listen, we all think we're going to win the Premier League now. Now listen, right? You know, God forbid you go to Everton and draw and they win, and whatever. But we all think we're going to win it. And look, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But we're on YouTube. It's 1:30 in the
No,
morning. Let's
Everton
just
are
go
coming
there,
to
right?
us, Dan.
Yeah, I know. Everton come to us anyway, right? Let's just say we do win the Premier League, which we all think we will. Do you think next season that the shackles will be off a little bit and they will be able to, not just Arteta's style, but the players will be able to express themselves and play a little bit more freely and maybe a little bit more of an attractive style because they've won it and they won't be as nervous and as tense and they won't have to, defend it as much as maybe they are now in certain games? Or do you think it will just be same again? Now, listen, it doesn't really bother me what way. Would I like a few more goals or whatever? Maybe, yeah, but that's being very, very spoiled. If we win a Premier League, if you told me now I would win it like this for the next 3 years, playing like this, I'll bite your hand off for it. But if we do win the Premier League, do you think we may see a bit of a change in style next season? Any of you can answer that.
Right. So what I'll say with that, Dan, is I've seen Real Madrid win Champions Leagues, right, by playing football. You see all this time wasting and stuff like this. This is what teams like that are very good at. It's dark arts of football. Listen, I don't care how we win. It's about winning. And what we saw tonight was a resilient performance, and we got the job done. Like, the football wasn't good.
It was a champions performance.
Listen, if we went out there tonight, right, and we played brilliant football, and we were like, oh, what a game of football. It was amazing. We played such good football, but we drew or we lost. What's the point? It's not winning titles. Is about winning titles. Is, however, by any means necessary, and that's what we saw tonight. And listen, I completely agree with Jez. It wasn't easy on the eye tonight, and because that was bad. But listen, defensively we're fantastic. The thing, attacks will win you games, and defenses will win you leagues. And we found that under George Graham. Okay, George Graham was a master. Did he change his football after it? No, he didn't really. I mean, listen, 1990-91 was probably the most free flowing George Graham era that I saw, and we, in games we're putting teams away, and it was some good football.
You know what else happened that year, Marty?
In what way?
Something special happened that year as well.
We only lost one game.
Positive Dan was born.
Oh, right, okay, there you go. Which was one, 1990 or 91?
Bad year then, wasn't it? Fucking hell.
91.
91. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you know,
91.
and that's it. But you know, George Graham, and I'll be honest with you, in '93, the football was not good. But you know, you watch them League Cup final, the League Cup final, or the League Cup games, and you watch the FA Cup games, and they weren't. You think it was bad tonight, oh, mate? It weren't. And Jez will back me up on that. It was. I've watched a lot of football with Arsenal over the years, even Invincibles. So, you know, listen, there were scintillating players, and on their day, they'd go and destroy teams with Thierry Henry and Vieira and what have you. But some of the games they weren't great. They were ugly. I mean, you know, probably the
Look
game
at Man
that we.
City against Leeds the other day. You know, Leeds were the better team, mate, but Man City got the goal and saw the game out.
This is what I'm saying, and this is how it goes. And you know, I think a game that I would, you know, a liken to a lot of it is like, yeah, some of the Invincible season. Yeah, there were some games that were absolutely fantastic.
Cool.
But then you know you got the 49th game where we were unbeaten and we lost at Manchester United. Great game of football, fantastic game of football. It wasn't boring. It was like there was a lot to it, but we lost it. So tonight was just about getting the job done. It is not about going there and, you know, listen, like I said, they press us and, you know, we were resilient. The ball didn't go in the back of our net. It went in the back of theirs. And you know what? It was a scrappy, Saka shoots from, you know, not distance, but enough distance. It gets deflected. It was a scrappy goal. The goalkeeper lets it through his legs. Do I care? No, I'm sure the goalkeeper does.
I actually love these wins, you know, sometimes, especially in a title race. It kind of just, it makes me believe even more that, you know, if you could go and win like that and defend the lead, that you could go and win the league. Anyway, let's read this question out because we've got a question from one of our subscribers, one of our members, actually. Question to the panel. We have 2 days to travel back from Leverkusen to play Everton. Also, remember, Real Madrid, Man City will be travelling to Madrid and then they'll be going to West Ham. We play Everton at home, of course. How heavy are we rotating, or do we take the risk and go full strength back to back? That is a very good question. What do we think on that, guys? Obviously, we play Leverkusen next week, and then we play Everton two days later, is it? Wow.
Late for a Leverkusen game. Just a couple of changes. I'll bring Noni in. Maybe Jesus can start with Havertz, Jokeres, they can switch around. I think of the two at that point, I think Everton's slightly important because we've got a second leg for Leverkusen to right any wrong from the first leg. Like I said before, I don't think they'll beat us. I don't think we'll blitz them, but I don't think they'll beat us. So I think we can take a rotated team to Leverkusen, come back with a draw, even a 1-goal defeat, and turn it around at the Emirates. So yeah, I would rotate it slightly for a Leverkusen game and Everton full strength.
This is a funny comment here from Johnny D. Jez is my man. I can't believe it. We met about a year ago. He crashed me out on being an Arteta sexual when I got banned because I was.
and now Jesse's talking about statues for the man.
There we go.
I've got a quick question for.
Hang on, let's put this in context. Let's put this in context, Marty. Let's put this in context, right? I never did block him, and it was probably one of my mods did, right? I don't block people. I always let people have their say, unless they've been an absolute tit.
What's a mod?
Moderators.
Moderator.
Oh, you have people that moderate your chats?
Yeah. I do get mutants come in and talk absolutely. I won't have people coming in and being insulting.
Oh yeah, I have people like that. They get booted out straight away. Anyway,
I want to have that. Anyway, the thing is, yeah, I hear what he's telling me, but it wasn't me, and I do have, unfortunately, sometimes over zealous moderators that do get a little bit yump. And
so when you say that, what is that? Someone that's one of your mates moderating the chat?
They're not. No, I don't. I mean, no, most of the moderators I've got, I don't even know.
Oh, it's just someone. Oh, okay. I've just
general. Yeah, he could be. He got one there. Look, JT, OOG, 9GV.
What? So,
You can
what? So he can take someone out of the chat for me.
You can moderate who you want.
Yeah.
You can moderate who you
I
want.
don't understand. How does it
I
work?
think Waffle Don's a moderator for your channel actually.
You
when
go
he
into
comes on.
you go into your community situation and
Oh.
you can moderate people. But you
Oh, okay.
can do that after the stream. But I've
All right.
lost what I
No,
was going
maybe,
to say.
maybe Dan does it on our side if he's
Yeah.
got the guys to do it.
But
Yeah.
I had a quick question for Marty and Jez, just
Go on.
going back to George Graham. So say we win the league this year. Obviously, we've played 30 games so far, so we've got a decent sample size. How would you look back on how we played this year? You said George Graham wasn't great to look at. Obviously, Jez said tonight shit, but the whole body of the season, how would you look back in 10 years' time? How would you describe this season?
Right now, sorry, no, Marty, go on. You go first.
No, go on, Jez. You first. Before age, go on.
If I was look back at this in 10 years' time, right, this manager has achieved greatness in the fact he's won the Premier League or the Champions League, along with, now for me, the only stipulation here is, gentlemen, if he wins the League Cup, which I'd love to win, we've only won 2, yeah, that's not enough for me. Sorry. It's got to be big. It's got to be Premier League, or it's got to also be Champions League. One or the other. One or the other. Okay? In 10 years' time, if I was able to sit here, I'd probably be dead in 10 years' time, so it don't fucking matter.
No, you won't.
No,
You know what I mean? The fact remains is that I can sit there and go, great achievement. Well done. Fantastic. I remember it. In 10 years' time, if we've only won a League Cup, it's not something that's going to stick in my head and go, yeah, that was a great season. Not a great season.
No, of course not. Listen, with the team we've got, the position we're in, there's no the League Cup. I've said it from the start. That ain't enough. We have to win the Premier League. A Champions League would be a bonus. Now we've got the route. I expect us to make the final at the least. Listen, anything can happen in the final. We'd likely be playing against a Bayern Munich or a PSG. So either the holders or one of the best teams in Champions League history in Bayern Munich. You know, let's just get there first. I don't want to get ahead of myself in the Champions League.
The thing is, look, I've been told, right? I've got a cup final ticket for the 26th.
I was just going to ask you why you're going, because I'm going. So I would have said I'd meet you beforehand if you're going.
Well, I'm in block 514, right? Now, the thing is, I've been told you can't go, Jez. You can't go. You shouldn't celebrate. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that.
Why not?
Right? Because, well, that's what I've been told. But
who's told you that?
Various YouTubers.
I'm not said that you shouldn't go. Why not?
Because I'm anti-Arteta.
Don't be stupid.
Look, mate. Hear me out. I don't give a flying shit about what people tell me. I've been going to football for way too many years that most of these people have been alive, right? So if I want to celebrate going to watch a cup final, let's put it right, gentlemen. I've been to more cup finals than most of these fucking idiots on YouTube have ever been to in their lives. I've got all my programs, all my tickets over there. So you're not going to stop me. I'm not talking about you guys here right now.
No, of course.
You're not telling me I'm not going to go to a cup final and celebrate. Oh, well, I had one fella the other night come up for it and said, oh, if you turn up at Wembley, I'm going to do you over. Oh, I said, good luck with it. Carry on, crack on, have a go. I don't give a shit, right? Fair play. I'm 64. You can kick the shit out of me. I ain't got a problem. But
nah, listen, there'll be none of that. Every single person will be in unity that day. That is for 100% for sure. And like you've said, you know, that's why you're different to other people, you know, that they come out and just criticize. You said if he does it, you'll admit you were wrong. There are some people, even in your little circle, Jez, that have been like, you know, even if he wins it, he's still got to go, which is crazy. Some people say it in the chat, if he wins the Premier League, he's still got to go, which is crazy, isn't it?
Dan,
that is
it
crazy.
Don't throw me off. It don't. Look, mate, I've been to fucking far worse days right,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
football in the 70s and the 80s. That ever worries me. Yeah,
Mm.
I've had the shit kicked out of me before. But let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, I will go to Wembley and I will celebrate if we win, right? I'm not going to go to the parade. I probably won't. I've been to quite a few of them. Don't need to do that anymore. But at the end of the day, no one is ever going to tell me what I cannot fucking not and can do in football,
No,
right?
of course not.
Because at the end of the day, all of you gentlemen here, all the people in the chat are respectful, and we will do what we want to do. Point I want to make here, right? Yeah, people are going to turn around, oh, Jez, you've become an Arteta sexual. No, I haven't. What I'm saying is, I will always respect people as a manager that get it over the line. Yeah. And if this manager gets it over the line, I will turn around and go, fair play. You proved me wrong and I'm happy. Well done. Respect. Yeah. But it has to be something big. League Cup is not enough. That was the point I was trying to make. And it's got to be Premier League as well, or Champions League.
Yeah.
If this manager can achieve that greatness of winning the Champions League, awesome, fantastic, brilliant, well done.
Yeah, big up the gunner lowdown. Big up. There's a few new names in here, so anyone who's come on and has come on, please do subscribe to any of the new guys. The gunner lowdown says if he wins all four, a lot of the content creators wouldn't know what to comment about that. I'm sure they would say next season he has to win all four. How dare he only get a treble? Well, listen, I mean, if he got all four, that would be something that's never been done in football history. Now, if he did go and get all four trophies, would he automatically become the best manager in Arsenal's history?
Yeah, of course he would, 100%. Like there's no doubt about that. You go and win a quad, mate. You like Jez said, and as Jez's words, not mine. I think he said if he wins the Champions League, you get a statue. Listen, you go and do the quad, mate. Statue incoming, 100%. You can't. That's a listen. The Champions League has evaded capture for Arsenal Football Club for their entirety. That is a huge competition that we need in our trophy cabinet. Facts. And obviously, listen, we all know the monumental size of winning the Premier League, something we haven't won for 22 years. And listen, a League and Cup double, I remember that in '93, and that was a fantastic time, even though the league form wasn't good. And obviously, the league, the season after, we went on to win the Cup Winners' Cup, which obviously everyone wants to say is nothing, but I remember that, and that was a fantastic achievement. So yeah, I mean, listen, a quad. I mean, that's dreamland, man. That this team and Arteta do that this season. It's going down in history. It will go down in history as one of the greatest ever Arsenal sides. And like that question that you asked about 10 minutes ago, Dan. For me, how will I look back at it in 10 years' time? Well, it will be, and let alone if Tottenham get relegated as well, I'll be like, the season that Arsenal won the quad and Tottenham got relegated would probably, 100% it will go down in, not just as Tottenham being relegated, but the quad will go down in probably the greatest ever, it will be the greatest ever Arsenal season that I've seen. 100%.
Well, it'd be the greatest season ever. It'd be the greatest season ever in
Exactly.
English.
So
That's for sure.
it will be monumental. It will be huge, and it will be a real statement. And that will make 7 years every second worth the wait. All of the anxiety, the poor performances like tonight. I mean, was it a poor performance defensively? It was good. In the midfield, I don't think Rice and Zubamendi were good at all. And up front, we didn't offer much. But listen, we had a chance, we took it, and we got the job done. I think this side will go down as one of the sides that had a very strong character and a very strong physicality, and they found a way to win games. And obviously, listen, you win the quad. I mean, there's a lot of Man U fans and Man City fans can say they won the treble. We've got the Invincibles in our locker at the moment. That's probably one of our strongest points. But you start talking quads and that, that's something that has never been done. And then obviously the Invincibles. So that would really cement Arsenal Football Club's status as one of the biggest clubs in world football.
I was asked a question, Dan. Obviously, we're at the business end of the season now. Games every 2-3 days. We've got the FA Cup. We've got Mansfield. Would likely beat them. The next round, quarterfinals? So you got the big teams left. Would you look? I'm not gonna say throw the game, but would you look to like say play a weakened team in the FA Cup throughout now to the semi-final, maybe the final stage, and just say, look, we'll focus on the Premier League and Champions League?
That's a great question because me and Marty have been discussing this all year, right from the start, and we were discussing it when we was in the studio, Marty. And what I've always said, I said that I think this was when we had got to, I think, the quarterfinals. We had Palace in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, and I said, we could go and win that Carabao Cup, and I've always said it would be great to push us over the line. If we can win that in March, and I said if the Premier League's tight and we're in it either 3 or 4 points behind or 3 or 4 in front, which is looking like we're going to be hopefully around 7 in front at that time. Who knows? But we're going to be there or thereabouts, that's for sure. And we're going to have big Champions League games. And if they can get that monkey off their back, lifting a trophy, I've said that this year the League Cup is actually more important than the FA Cup. Although the FA Cup is the best cup ever, in terms of domestically, and it's got so much tradition and history, and we've won it the most times. Winning that League Cup was more important for me this season because of what it can do for us for the finals. There'll be like 6 games left in the Premier League. Then there will be Champions League quarterfinals and semi-finals, and so I've said I said I think we'd win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup. I said Champions League I can't comment on because who knows what the draw is going to be like. You just don't know, and you could lose. You have one bad minute in the Champions League and you're out. It's the best team doesn't always win the Champions League, but I believe we're the best team in England, and over 38 games, no one's going to be better than us, and that's exactly what's happening. And we're in the Carabao Cup final, and everyone called me deluded, right? And people actually hated me for it. People were doing clips of me, and it's not just people like yourself, Jez, who get it from Arteta sexuals or whatever you want to call them. I hate that word, but whatever. People like myself who are very positive get ridiculed and get a lot of hate as well. And I've had a lot of that this season. But on to the point to the FA Cup, what I've said about the FA Cup is I do think at some point something's going to have to give. And if, for example, we don't know who's going to go through at City and Newcastle, but let's say Newcastle go through it. We've got to go away to Newcastle in a quarter-final, and then we've got a Champions League semi-final against Barcelona 3 days later. Then, of course, I think you have to choose. You have to rotate for the FA Cup and go strong in the Champions League. And we're all even if we would have we're lucky with the draws we've got this year in the FA Cup. If we were playing, who did we play? We played Chelsea in a quarter final, and I think we had Wigan, or who is it we played? Or Portsmouth around that time. It was one of them at the same time. I think it was Portsmouth, Marty, because I've done the games with you.
It was Portsmouth away, man. I was there.
So when we had Portsmouth away, right around the time we played Chelsea in the semi-final. So imagine that game was a big game, like even a Bournemouth, a Premier League team. Because we're already in the semi, I'd want to put all our eggs in that and rotate for that. So in answer to your question, I think at some point this not sacrificed, but we would have to rotate heavily in the FA Cup, no matter who we're playing. If we've got a big Premier League game, a Champions League game, for sure.
This is why the quad's difficult to do. That's why no one's ever done it, because teams do at some point say.
Listen, we all remember Liverpool. Liverpool were on for the quad, and they lost the Champions League final, and they lost the Premier League on the last day by 1 point, and they ended up with the League Cup and the FA Cup. And they were close. Had they won that Champions League final and had City were losing to Villa at half time as well on that day, and they turned it around. And that is actually who City play on the last day of the season, by the way, as well, Aston Villa, which won't be easy. I'm going to do a question, and then we're going to do trivia. I've got a trivia question for you guys.
On that note, Dan, just quickly, mate, I've got to jump off. Thank you very much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Wait. Quick question, because we're going to wrap up. Just give me 2-3 minutes, Marty. The question first is, we could just say it. We don't need to elaborate. If you could have the FA Cup and the Champions League, or the Carabao Cup and the Premier League, which would you take?
Oh. I think probably the FA Cup and the Champions League, even though we are in a Premier League. I want a Premier League. I'll tell you why, because then we have won the FA Cup more times than anyone else, and it just puts us one in front of everyone else. And obviously the Champions League, we've never won it. So that's why I would go, and it's a unique double. And I think the strength of the FA Cup compared to the strength of the League Cup and potentially the strength of the Champions League, that's like I said, it's a trophy that's evaded us. We've won the Premier League before, albeit I know a lot of fans haven't seen it, but I have. So that's why I'd go for that double over the other double. But that's just my personal opinion.
Jez?
No, yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, yeah, look, let's not throw this in the bin here, right? We've won 14 FA Cups, right? We've been to 25 finals, yeah? So at the end of the day, it's Arsenal's trophy. We can't let that fall apart. And I want to win the FA Cup again. I'm greedy. You call me greedy. I don't care what you say, right? I want to win it all, right? And as you stated earlier, right, if this manager was to win the quadruple, which has never, ever, ever happened before, right? It wouldn't surprise my French. It wouldn't surprise me, right? And so it wouldn't just be a plastic, or not plastic, but a trophy. Make it a gold one. Give them a gold because it'd be the first time in English football history this has ever happened. I don't think.
You heard it here first, guys. If he does the quad, Jez wants him to get a gold trophy.
Well,
quickly, SJ.
Well, come on. Let's be fair. Come on. It's never ever happened in English football history.
Yeah.
Celtic did it back in 1968 or something like that, right? But
61 was it? They won it. They won the treble, wasn't it? Yeah, but I don't think it was a quad, or was it? Maybe it was.
Who?
That was that was when they had the whole Celtic team. They all lived within a mile of the stadium.
68, they won.
Was it 68? Yeah.
Quadruple.
Did they win the Scottish League Cup as well? Wow. So wow.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move it on. Come on. Let's be. Look, I don't like the manager. I don't like his style of football. Right? Yeah, I have a problem with it, but it's not personal. A lot of people are very personal against.
Let my man Marty go sleep. Quickly, SJ. I want to do one.
I agree with Marty. FA Cup and Champions League. Champions League is the one I want the most. So
I have to say Premier League and Carabao Cup, just because this Premier League, I couldn't see us not win the Premier League now because of where we are. Winning that would mean we'd have to bottle a Premier League, and I'd rather get that in the bag and go and win the Champions League next year. Anyway, the trivia question is: I joined Arsenal in 1998. I left in 2001. I only won 2 Charity Shields, and I'm Argentinian. Who am I?
So again, mate, sorry, didn't catch you.
Joined Arsenal in 1998, made 40 appearances, left in 2001. I only won 2 Charity Shields.
Oh, mate, that's.
Come
on, we're with Jez, the historian, Arsenal historian, and Marty, AFTV.
Oh, mate, mate.
It's an Arsenal player. So joined Arsenal 1998.
It's not Vivas. Is he even?
Oh, he's got it. SJ's got it. SJ got it. Fair play to you, SJ. That's really, really good. Nelson Vivas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Goalkeeper.
Joined in.
No. He's not a goalkeeper.
Oh, mate, that's about a man.
Joined in 91, left in 98.
He's a right back, wasn't he? He was a right back. Sorry, mate. He's a
right back. Yeah.
Do you know what Nelson Vivas didn't he? Well, I'm going to redeem myself. Did he or did he not join from Boca Juniors?
I don't know.
You don't know
where he came from.
Oh,
I think it was one of them teams because it's Argentina.
He won the '98 World Cup with Argentina as well, didn't he?
No, they didn't win it in '98. France did.
Sorry, hang on. No, sorry, not winning it. Sorry, he was part of the Argentinian
He,
World
he
Cup
did.
squad, wasn't he?
He did join from Boca Juniors. Fair play, Chad. But he weren't a
Did he?
goalkeeper, mate.
There you go. I redeemed myself. I didn't mean win the World Cup because I know who won the World Cup in '98. It was France, and they won the
You
Euros as
totally.
well.
Just
Sorry.
when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you totally redeem yourself.
It's been a
Mate.
long day,
Anyway,
man. It's been a long day and a long night.
on that note, I want to thank SJ for coming on. I want to thank Jez for coming on. Thank Marty. Thank every single person who's dropped a like, everyone who's give us a comment. Like and subscribe. Help us get to 2K subs. Thanks for watching. We'll probably be back after the Mansfield game at some point. Get your notifications turned on because, like I said, we just do spontaneous lives. We don't have no really set up apart from our Monday shows. And then we just go live when we get a spare moment. So get your notifications on so you know when we're going to be live. Thank you for everyone. Who's this? Ryan. I'm driving back from Brighton after the fan camp, buzzing. Oh, well, he's buzzing. Are you
Kalakos
sure?
in the building.
Remember, Ryan, it's not sustainable. Big up, boys. Guys, thanks for watching, man. And make sure you share this out to all your friends as well. Big up. Peace out.
Take care, love.